So, hi guys, welcome to this video. Thank you again for watching my videos. So, today I'm going to show you how you can install Carbonio Community Edition in your Ubuntu server. So, basically, right now, Carbonio Community Edition only supports Ubuntu 20.04 LTS and Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. So in this video we are going to see how we can install it on Ubuntu. So okay, let's proceed to our command line interface. So yeah, this is my server, and on the other side I will open a file where I have listed all the steps. By the way, I have created these steps as per the recent documentation, but as the product is being updated with each release, so you should not entirely rely on these steps. You should always check out the official documentation. The link I have listed here. I will also add these links to the description of this video, so definitely you should check out those videos, those links before any installation, so that you can understand if there is any changes in the instructions or in the packages or in the procedure. So yeah, that's it. So okay, this is the official documentation hub. Let me show you something. If I bring my browser here, let me make it a short one. Okay, fine. Copy this, then you can see this is the official documentation hub, and as we are going to see Carbon Community Edition installation, and in future different videos related to Carbon Community Edition, here you are going to find all the related and relevant information. So definitely check out this. Also they have blogs and forums, like if you go to zextras.com, then you will find the blog where you will find many articles. Also the recent articles, those are about the migrations, and they have forums. I would recommend you to join the forum so that you can take part in the conversation of different system admins all over the world, know the recent topics, issues, their solutions, what's going around with the open source email community. So yeah, do check out these forums and blogs and register here so that you can get all the latest updates. Okay, let's proceed with the installation. You'll get all the informations here. If you check out these links, you'll find these steps as well as some other informations. I'm not going to go all the informations line by line, as it will make this video very long. So that's why I have summarized all the instructions, and we will follow these steps. By the way, definitely, as you can see, these are the steps. I have not included the commands here. I will go to the documentation page, and for this step, whatever instruction is discussed or listed in the documentation page, I will follow that procedure. So yeah, definitely it is following the documentation page, but in a summarized version. So okay, for the very first, we need to do some preliminary task. So for the preliminary task, let's go to the forum. Okay, I'm going to go to the okay, this is where for the first task, install and modify the SQL database. If I go to the installation, Carbonio CE installation, single server, if I click the requirement, there are hardware requirements, software requirements about the operating system, and the DNS records. And yeah, this is another important thing. If you are doing a demo or testing purposes, please definitely publish all of your domains A record and MX record. If you're doing testing purposes, you can configure DNS masquerading and configure the records into that DNS masquerading configuration. But for production environment, I would not recommend you that. Definitely publish your DNS records like A record and MX record into any public DNS server, as they will be requested by the configuration process in between the whole configuration process. So yeah, I will show you that. But as I'm saying, I will skip configuring DNS resolution with DNS masquerading because I have a domain and its DNS records are published globally. So okay, let's check. If I go to, let's check from the server within. If I go to the server, the domain I'm going to use is dig sample server.xyz. I'm going to check the MX record, and it says the MX record is set as mail.sampleserver.xyz. Right now it is using this server to make the query, but you can set the Google DNS like 8.8.8 or 1.1.1 or even 9.9.9 to get the replies from those servers, but you can set whatever server you prefer. But if you are using any local server to resolve all your DNS queries, make sure the server is updated with all the information from its parent server. So yeah, so you can see the MX record is updated, it can be resolved. Now let's take a look at the MX record that is being resolved as mail.sampleserver.xyz. Is it resolvable by any A record? Can we resolve it with a record? Yeah, it shows an A record with an IP. Let's check the IP address of our server. Yeah, this is the IP address of the server. So that means I have published all the DNS records globally, and they can be resolved during the installation. So this criteria is met. I do not need the DNS resolution. Now additional requirement, there is nothing here. There are firewall, TCP, internal connection, external MTA role. These are all port related information. I'd recommend you to take a look at it and yeah, and check out all the information. So let me give this site and okay. Okay, 1 second, let me set it like this way. Okay, now I am going to install the database server. I have copied it, so I am performing this activity. Okay, copy, install, yes. As you can see, database server is installed. Now what I'm going to do, there are some modification advised in the documentation. Go to this directory, vi, go to the bottom of this directory. Now it says find this host or local host or loopback address and change the indent to MD5. But as you can see, my configuration is already MD5. If your configuration is already MD5, then you don't need to do anything else. But it is, if it is set as indent or ident, I'm so sorry, ident, then you should change it with MD5. So as it is MD5, I'm just gonna reload the database server. Okay, service reloaded. So install and modify PostgreSQL is done. Make sure your domain has resolvable A and MX record that we have checked earlier, so it is done also. So all our preliminary tasks are done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set time zone as per my location. To set the time zone as per my location, I'm going to do is time.ctl set time zone Asia Dhaka. If you want to check it, that etc time zone, you can see it is Asia Dhaka. By the way, if you want to check whether your time zone is available in the list of the time zones, you can execute this command, list time zones, and you will see all the time zones available to set are listed here. So I'm not going through all of this. Check your time zone. If it is available, set it into your server. Then now we're going to set the host name. To set the host name, etc host name. Then I'm going to edit it, mail.sample server.xyz. Okay, after the host name, then we need to get etc host name. Okay, you can set the host name by using the hostname ctl command as well. So now etc hosts, sorry, hosts So there are few lines. It can vary depending on your server environment or your base operating system version. So for now, the what is the best practice? The best practice is keeping this loopback as localhost. Remove any other loopback. I am removing this. Then keeping the IPv6. Now I'm removing other things and mail. Okay, let's check it one more time. Etc host. Okay, so this step is done also. Now the important part, add Zextras repository in your system. You need to add Zextras repository in your system, otherwise you won't be able to download Carbonio related packages. So to add the repository, what you have to do, you have to go to this link. It is also instructed in the official documentation. Let me show you the documentation. Yeah, this documentation. Yeah, this one. If you click this one or go to this link, you will find something like this, a form. Upon filling up the form, you will get an email. In that email, you will get the instruction along with the repository link. So by following those instructions, you can add the repository. I'm skipping this part because I want you guys to go to this page and fill out the form and download the repository on your own and try all the process and steps by yourself. So right now I'm going to pause the video, and then after adding the repository I will again resume the video. So I have added the repository. Now I will update the repo list and upgrade all the packages that has any available upgrade. So let's do it. I will just copy paste this one. So as you can see, Zextras repositories are added. So few packages are being installed. Okay. Step number 5 is done. Now we're going to restart our server. Reboot now. To check whether our server rebooted or not, mail.sample-server.xyz. Yeah, you can see the server is still not up. Okay, So let's just wait few minutes. The server is up now. Now we can again log in here. Okay. So till this portion the configuration is done. Now we are entering the main part, installing Carbonio core packages or main packages or the available packages. For that I could have shared all the packaging information here, but as I said earlier that the system is getting upgrade day by day, so lots of new features are included into the system, and if often we see changes in the package list. Therefore I have added the link here. Always go to the link of this official documentation, check out what available packages are for your distribution, copy them and install them. So let's go to the documentation. This is the documentation, and single server installation, Ubuntu. We have done these steps. We've done this. Okay, for Ubuntu these packages are available, and for Red Hat these. So for Ubuntu I'm copying these packages and executing. Okay, though I have restarted the server and I can see the hostname has changed, but still, to be sure, just check this if your hostname resolves as a FQDN or not. Otherwise you will face some issues during the installation. So at it resolve the full FQDN, then it's okay. Otherwise if it shows only mail, then I might have some issues during the installation. So we are fine now. Okay, so now I'm going to again copy the packages, paste it here. Let me make it a little bit short. What do you say? Okay, why? So it is going to take some time depending on your internet speed. So I hope it will not that much time in our cases here. So let's wait. Otherwise I would skip this part and join you guys again at the end of this downloading and installation process. But as it is going faster, I will just wait. Okay, but meanwhile let me tell you something, that Zimbra open source edition is going to be end of life on December 31, 2023. Therefore many Zimbra users, especially open source users, are looking for a good alternative. So definitely Carbonio Community Edition is a good alternative, and in some cases it is even better alternative because of its architecture, its working methods, process and many other things. You can find all the details in the official documentation. So do check out the official documentation. Then you will find a lot more information that can be useful for you. And as I am showing you the installation process now, in another video I will try to show you the upgradation process for Carbonio Community Edition for both Ubuntu as well as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So okay, let's wait a bit. And yeah, by the way, do let us know your opinion about what if we do a migration type video where we can show you demonstrate you a migration process with some demo data. So let us know. We can really create the scenario and migrate from Zimbra open source to Carbonio and demonstrate all the steps. So yeah, and also if you want to contact me for any issue to discuss with, just you can email me. It will be much more convenient for me. I can write back to you my email address. Let me add my email address in this list here. Meanwhile, my email address, that okay. So yeah, you can see my email address. You can just write me down. I will try to get back to you in the shortest possible time, and maybe we can decide another medium of communication that can be faster or anything else. Yeah, by the way, I'm planning to create another video for multi-server environment. Okay, the package installation is done. Now what we are going to do, we are going to run the Carbonio bootstrap process. Carbonio bootstrap. Now it is taking the DNS records. So you can see it has successfully resolved all the DNS records like A record, MX record, and A record for the MX record, and everything. And all the main configuration, everything will be default. You don't need to change anything except in the common configuration there is a time zone. Go to that common configuration and set the time zone. Like if you select 1, then you will enter into the common configuration and change the time zone. Select 6, whatever parameter you want to change, select that point and set the time zone. So let me revert back to, and as everything is okay, I'm pressing Y. The operation is logged into this log file. So I would recommend you to open another window or another shell and open that log file so that you can understand what is going behind this main configuration process, because you are only looking at like setting local config values, but what are the values? You will get to know from that log file that what are the values the configuration process is setting. And it is also setting up the certificate authority. It is done. So what are the certificate authorities and what are the certificate authority related parameters it is setting up? you can see in that log file. So it is highly recommended to see that log file. By the way, from my previous experience, I would like to share you that one time I was getting an issue which I had trouble to solve. Then somehow I went to see the log file of the installation process, and I found a very important clue which led me to the solution of that, of the situation, or of that issue. So I'd recommend you to go check that log file, go line by line. If you want to understand your system very well, definitely go through the log file. As you can see, it is setting the replication password, postfix, mb password. Actually, what command the configuration process is executing, you can see in the log file. So yeah, it is worth checking, so do check out. And you can also okay, not here, let me add here. Let me in this one in as dot in.com/in/im. So yeah, so you can also text me on LinkedIn. So yeah, and by the way, if you are a system admin and Carbonio is a part of your system, as Carbonio provides you a more featureful platform for all of your activities like email, contact, calendars, tasks, and files, and different items. You should know the platform and the system very well. And if you are a mm, if you are a system admin who is very enthusiastic to know his system, I think starting from the official documentation page as well as reading the log file would be very great. So yeah, do check out those links and files, and let me know in the comment what other kind of video you want to see, so that we can work on those videos as well. We will try to make videos in a granular level so that you can understand what each component of the system means to you, and that will help you to troubleshoot any issue as well as modify your system as per your users need. So okay, on creating spam users, spam ham virus quarantine, setting spam training and antivirus quarantine accounts, done. Initializing store SQL database, okay, done. Okay. So right now it is starting servers. That means it is stopping all the services and it will again start all the services. So let's wait for that. And also let me know whether the video quality or sound quality or anything about the video, uh, making of the video, that I can improve and work on, so that I can improve that and make the video more understandable for you. Now it will set the Gelsing account. Yeah, starting servers. Okay, so as we are running Carbonio Bootstrap, after that we will run service discovery setup wizard. Setting up Zextras cron tab. We will try to create another video, separate video, where we will discuss about Zextras cron tab, what are the process and what are the scripts that are added into Zextras cron tab. So yeah, now we are going to do service discover setup wizard. It is asking for the binding address. I'm providing the binding address. Okay, let me share you something. Sometimes it says it is finding only the loopback address as a binding address, because if your etc host file has loopback address space mail as an entry, it may find that kind of issue. So be sure your loopback address has loopback address space host, then the email, then the IP address and the FTDN and the host name in this format. So yeah, setting up cluster password. Now we will run the pending setup. So service discovery done, pending setup. The cluster password I created earlier, I will provide it here, and it will start finishing the pending setups. After that, I will create database roles and bootstrap them. So okay, pending setup is done. Yeah, so now I'm going to create the database role, bootstrap them, and for that I will again go to the official documentation page. the official documentation page, and we have done all of this. Create main database role, database for Carbonio CE. For that, I will create the password beforehand creating the role and the database. I will copy this one and execute this. Now enter a password. The password is being set. So what it did is, whatever input I provided to the interface, it saved it as a value of dbadm pwd. Therefore, now when I am going to execute the create role command, let me copy this way. For this field, it will provide the password. By the way, for this field I need to set it the $sign here, and you can see the instruction here. It is set, then it is again unset. If you already unset it, then no need to add the $sign, because if you execute this, then your database and password will be set. This will be set as your database password. So I hope you understood, but yeah, the role. Now admin. Now I'm creating the database. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bootstrap. Okay, okay, it says the owner Carbonio create database pass. Okay, so can you say that what happened wrong here? Because look, I provided the password this one, but actually the password is not this plain text, but behind password is the value behind this plain text, as we said the password here. So what I need to do is I need to add the $sign beforehand, then execute it. Okay, so now if you skip this one, let's say you didn't execute this one, you execute this without the $sign, it will create the role, but the password will be set as this one. Then you execute this one and you execute this one, everything will be okay. So just be aware what you are doing, what you are executing as a command. So now we are going to unset the password, because the password will be saved, and not will be saved, but it's still saved. So we don't want the system to keep the password. So let's go to the web page, and for unset you can just copy this command and execute. Yeah, Now our database password is unset, it is not saved anymore. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to creating database role and bootstrapping them. Okay, it's done. Restart Carbonio services. To restart the services, I can either log in to as a Zextras user, or from the root user I can do zm control restart. So after restarting the Carbonio services, we are going to change the default admin user and password. Okay, let me put it aside. Done. Change default admin user password. For that, again we're going to execute zm control set password. Now currently my server has only one domain, that is sample server.xyz. That means sample server.xyz is the default domain for this server. So for the default domain of your server, you don't need to enter the whole email address. You can just simply type the username. Like the default admin user is Zextras. I can type the full email address, or I can simply type the Zextras and to type the password. Okay, okay. No, I need to write down the server.xyz. So, my bad. What we are doing wrong here? We are using zm control command, but zm control command cannot be used for provisioning. Like if you are creating an user, modifying an user, you need to add provisioning command. For Carbonio, the provisioning command is Carbonio proof. So let's try with the Carbonio proof. So extras -c Carbonio proof sp extras. Okay, the password is set. So now let's access the user interface and the admin interface. For that, I'm going to bring a window here. For user interface, I'll just simply write https dot sample server dot xyz. So yeah, this is the one. And let's try logging the default user. And you can see we have logged in into the server using the default user. Okay, let's send an email and we'll check out later about its status. Test server test send. Okay, now let's take a look at the admin UI. So this is the admin UI. Let me make it full screen. This is the admin UI. Here you can create multiple domains, class of services, and if whenever you select a domain, you will get the account listed under that domain. So this is the admin account. I'm not going to show you everything. Just try it yourself and check out whether, if you think any more feature adding to the admin panel can be useful for the users. To go to the forum and comment your valuable feedback there. Currently there are two cores, default and default external. So yeah, let me see if I have received the email or not. Yes, I have received the email, and let me reply it so that you understand that I received and I replied back. Okay, I have replied back. I should receive the email. Okay, okay, as you can see, I received the email, I send this email, and then I receive the acknowledgement. So yeah, that's it. So this is it, and now we will try to create SSH tunnel to access the console UI. To I will create another video to see the details of the console UI, but right now I will just show you how you can create the SSH tunnel. To create the SSH tunnel, you need to enable the root login. Right now my root login is enabled, but if you want to enable the root login, just go to SSH configuration file and enable it. So now for SSH tunnel, again I am going into the official documentation page. This is the official documentation page, and for SSH tunnel, let's go to access the web interface, Carbonio mesh administration interface. Yeah, this one. Carbonio mesh administration interface. There are some other informations here, but we will just work on Carbonio mesh administration interface. I will just copy this command, create, then bootstrap token, cluster password, and it will give me a token. By the way, this token will be needed later, but let's not worry about it. And now I'm going to create the tunnel. Copy, root, my IP address is, let me look out here in sample server.xyz. Copy. So this is the command I'm going to execute. Yes, password, okay. It says cannot listen to port 850, could not request local forwarding. It can be an issue of my VM that I am currently using, but I'm not sure, but I will look into that. But this is not the essential part as our mail service is running, so I will try to look into that and let you guys know. So let's just skip this part, and so we are skipping this step 15 and 16, access the console UI, and okay. Why it is binding on this address? Okay, let's change it, change the etc host file. Vi etc host. Okay, let's try now. We know I'm doing hurry because I wanted to go to namaz. I thought the video will end before the namaz starts. Maybe some process is keeping the server busy. That's why it's taking time. It's not restarted, because sometimes when you're running, like I've seen in Zimbra, Zimbra services are running, and now Carbonio services are running. If you try to restart the server without shutting down those services, uh, it takes more time than usual to restart the server. As now the server is restarted, so yeah, let's wait a bit. Our server is live again. Let's log in. Okay, now let's try one more time the command that we executed, whether it works or not. This one, host address is, let me copy it from here, copy it from here. Still trying to bind to that address. I'll look into it and let you guys know. And yeah, so now let's log into, don't need to log into Zimbra Zextras user, Zextras C control restart. Restart. This one, let me let this. Meanwhile, you can use this command. Let me show you, to check all the Carbonio units that is listed in the okay, yeah, you can see loaded fail, Carbonio service, then these are not mandatory. And okay, so what you can do is one thing, that that is mentioned in the server. The official documentation is that uh, for the Prometheus Nginx exporter, we can restart it executing this command. Let's check one more time. Yeah, so now Carbonio service loaded, failed. Okay, that's not an issue here. Okay, so if we check status, you'll find all services. Okay, uh, to service discover stopped. My service discover stopped. Yeah, no, so it's okay because the VM I'm using right now has some issues. So yeah, everything seems fine. So that's it, guys. That is the basic procedure to install Carbonio Community Edition. So try it yourself, and it's already a very long video. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and take care. Have a good day. Thank you so much.